This is Anansi on your personal communicator. I'm tracking your position through the Endar Spire's life support systems. Basila's escape pod is away. You're the last surviving crew member on the Endar Spire. Now, I can't wait for you much longer. You have to get to the escape pods. But be careful. There's a Sith patrol just down the corridor. Use your stealth skill to sneak past him.
Okay. So we can sneak past him, or we can engage him. Well, let's see if our stealth skill is high enough. If we don't have a stealth skill, we'll have to fight him. But regardless, let's see if we can sneak past him and not have to deal with him. There he goes, right there. We sneak right on past him. But since we have a stealth skill, you can sneak up right behind him and do some damage. And there we go. Now, you do the same base amount of damage with each weapon, so it's only like a cosmetic thing, personally. But as you can see right there, the critical strike does two hits, flurry does 3 hits, power does 1 hit. Better days. Okay, so we got 2 right here. So what we can do here is we can throw a grenade. We'll strike him, flurry, and probably use a health pack. Oh no, looks like we might be able to.
Be careful. There's a whole squad of Sith troopers on the other side of that door. You need to find some way to thin their numbers. You could reprogram the damaged assault droid to help you, if you have enough repair parts. Or you could use computer spikes to slice into the terminal and use the Endar Spire's security systems against the Sith.
So, now we have some skills that we can use. If you are so inclined, you can repair the combat droid. Do that, but, you know, we will get plenty of help. So it's not so we have 5 computer spikes and 7 parts. If you want to, you can repair this droid and have it come in and assist you in combat. Or you can go into the computer system. We have a computer science tutorial, but it doesn't really matter. All you gotta do is just view this, and we see that we have 5 enemies. We are not surviving this. We can do a computer, or we can do an overload power conduit. This is a computer spike. We have 5 spikes, it requires 4. This is what happens when you do it. All dead. You get the experience, you lose a couple of points, you lose a couple of spikes, but you don't have to worry about having to fight all of them. You could always have gone in and hacked this computer, reactivate the droid, you can activate droid's shields, or engage droid in patrol mode. You can always repair it, but we don't need it, so we're going to save our parts for right now. I got these remains here. Go pick this guy's remains up because he has a special blaster and a special vibro blade. So, what I want to do is I want to... Oh, we can't equip that, can we? Okay, short-term vibration cell. Get items. I hit B instead of A. Hit A to take the items, B if you don't want them. So, we now have an ion blaster, which we can't actually equip because I believe we have an offhand weapon. This one does special damage against droids. Now we have a prototype vibroblade. This one does, when compared to so you got 110 plus 1 physical and 110 physical, but it's also a balanced weapon versus 2 weapon penalty if used offhand. So if you use it in your offhand, it doesn't do much, doesn't have much of a penalty. So what you can do, is you can put this, the longsword, in one hand and the vibroblade in the other, and there you go.
You've made it just in time.
There's only one active escape pod left. Come on, we can hide out on the planet below.
Who are you?
I'm a soldier with the Republic, like you. We're the last 2 crew members left on the Endar Spire. Bastila's escape pod's already gone, so there's no reason for us to stick around here and get shot by the Sith. Now, come on. There'll be time for questions later.
Alright. There's nothing over here. The escape pods are all away. This is the only one left. This is the last escape pod and your only hope of survival. Use the escape pod. This is your last chance to grab what was on that red Sith Trooper's body. The Ion Blaster and the prototype Biker Blade. You leave now, you don't get a second chance.
Good to see you up instead of thrashing about in your sleep. You must have been having one hell of a nightmare. I was wondering if you were ever going to wake up. I'm Karth, one of the Republic soldiers from the Endar Spire. I was with you on the escape pod. Do you remember?
I had a strange dream, like a vision or something.
I'm not surprised. You took a serious blow to the head. You're probably having all kinds of strange dreams. I wouldn't worry too much about it. You've been slipping in and out of consciousness for a couple of days now, so I imagine you're pretty confused about things. Try not to worry. We're safe. At least for the moment. We're in an abandoned apartment on the planet of Terrace. You were banged up pretty bad when our escape pod crashed, but luckily I wasn't seriously hurt. I was able to drag you away from our crash site and all the confusion, and I stumbled into this abandoned apartment. By the time the Sith arrived at the scene, we were long gone.
I guess I owe you my life. Thanks.
You don't have to thank me. I've never abandoned anyone on a mission, and I'm not about to start now. Besides, I'm gonna need your help. Terrace is under Sith control. Their fleet is orbiting the planet, they've declared martial law, and they've imposed a planet-wide quarantine. But I've been in worse spots. I saw on your service records that you understand a remarkable number of alien languages. That's pretty rare in a raw recruit, but it should come in handy while we're stranded on a foreign world. There is no way the Republic will be able to get anyone through the Sith blockade to help us. If we're gonna find Bastila and get off this planet, we can't rely on anybody but ourselves.
Bastila. She's the one from the Endar Spire, right?
That smack to your head did more damage than I thought. Bastila's a Jedi. She was with the strike team that killed Darth Revan, Malak's Sith Master. Bastila's the key to the whole Republic war effort. The Sith must have found out that she was on the Endar Spire and set an ambush for us in this system. I believe Bastila was on one of the escape pods that crashed down here in Terrace. For the sake of the Republic war effort, we have to try and find her.
How can one person, even a Jedi, be so important?
Bastila is no ordinary Jedi. She has a rare gift the Jedi call battle meditation. Bastila's power can influence entire armies. Through the Force, Bastila can inspire her allies with confidence and make her enemies lose their will to fight. Often that's all it takes to tip the balance in a battle. Of course there are limits to what she can do, but from what I understand of her ability, it requires great concentration and focus to maintain her battle meditation. The attack on the Endar Spire happened so fast, she never had a chance to use her battle meditation. Like us, she barely got out alive.
If Bastila's a Jedi, she can probably look after herself.
Bastila's gonna need our help. Many of Darth Malak's followers can use the dark side of the Force, and the Sith have already killed more than their share of Jedi in this war. Nobody will be looking for a couple of common soldiers like us, and if we're careful, we can move about the planet without attracting notice, a luxury Bastila won't have. She's gonna have half the Sith fleet looking for her. They know how important she is to the war effort. The whole planet is under quarantine. No ships can land or take off. So, if Bastila's gonna escape Terrace, she's gonna need our help, and we'll probably need hers.
Any idea where we should start looking for Bastila?
While you were out, I did some scouting around. There are reports of a couple of escape pods crashing down into the Undercity. It's probably a good place to start. But the Undercity's a dangerous place. We don't want to go there unprepared, and it won't do Bastila any good if we go and get ourselves killed.
I want to ask you some questions.
I'll tell you whatever I can, though I don't know how much help it'll be.
What do you know about Malak and the Sith?
Everything I know about Malak is pretty much common knowledge. He escaped the trap that killed Darth Revan, his Sith master. With Revan's death, Malak became the new Dark Lord. It's obvious that Malak's a ruthless tyrant who'll crush anyone who stands in his way, just like Revan was. Experience has shown that the Sith won't stop until the Republic lies in ruins. Malak and his Sith don't respect anything except raw, brutal power. It's hard to imagine how someone who used to be a Jedi could become such a monster.
A Jedi? What do you mean?
Malak and Revan were once both part of the Jedi Order, but they were young and headstrong, and against the wishes of the Council, they went to battle the Mandalorians on the Outer Rim. Something happened out there. Something corrupted them and drew them over to the dark side. Or maybe there was something rotten inside them all along. I don't know. They formed an army of ex-Republic soldiers and Jedi who'd fallen to the dark side, with Revan at their head, until Revan was killed by Bastila's Jedi strike team. But even that didn't slow the Sith down. Malak just stepped in and assumed Revan's role. He took control of the Sith Armada and resumed the bloody conquest of the Outer Worlds.
I want to ask you something else.
I'll tell you whatever I can, though I don't know how much help it'll be.
What can you tell me about this planet we're on?
Taris was once a magnificent planet-wide metropolis of towering skyscrapers. That was a long time ago. The upper city where the rich citizens live is still pretty safe. If it wasn't for the Sith occupation and the planet-wide quarantine, it might not even be a bad place to live. But farther down, things have degenerated. The lower city is nothing but a slum overrun by swoop bike gangs, waging a never-ending war for control. And the undercity is... well, it's even worse. The lowest level of Terrace is a wasteland overrun by rat ghouls, mindless, diseased mutants that attack on sight. I've already entered all this info into your datapad journal.
Well, with that out the way, I'd like to know more. Like to know some more about you, Karth.
I understand why you want to know more about me. I kind of get the feeling we'll be spending a lot of time together over the next while. But this isn't really the best time for long introductions. We should stay focused on the task at hand. There'll be a time for that later.
Alright, well, the sooner we start looking for Bastila, the sooner we find her. Let's go.
Good idea. We can use this abandoned apartment as a base. We can probably get some equipment and supplies here in the upper city. Just remember to keep a low profile. I've heard some grim stories about the Dark Jedi interrogation techniques. They say the Force can do terrible things to a mind. It can wipe away your memories and destroy your very identity. But I figure if we don't do anything stupid, we should be okay. I mean, after all, they're looking for Bastila, not a couple of grunts like us. All right, soldier, let's move out.
And just like that, we become tenants in this brand new apartment. What's cracking with you people? Anansi here, and welcome back to Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. In the last one, we had quite the rude awakening and found ourselves being pursued by the Sith, and we end up crashing down here in the Undercity. I know it's kind of late into this to be doing the introduction. I might have done it already, but man, so much has happened, and I'm just like, what is going on? So looking at this logger, we have some computer spikes and 3 med packs. Before we keep going any further, I want to do one thing. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So I want to lower the music volume a little bit. It was kind of overpowering Karth, and that was even after I had it turned down. Granted, Karth Anansi's voice actor is quiet even at the best of times, but just to kind of make it easier going forward, we're going to do this. Now, we have this apartment. We have a couple of things we can work on here. First things first, you want to use this workbench. This workbench introduces a very important part of the gameplay of Knights of the Republic, and that is modifications. Here you can use if you find weapons and armor that are marked upgradable, these items can be improved by the addition of an upgrade item. So, with upgrade items, you can use this workbench to construct new, more powerful versions of upgradable ranged weapons, melee weapons, lightsabers, and armor. I want to go ahead and use this workbench. So we have lightsabers, ranged, armor, but we don't have anything in any of these categories besides melee to upgrade. This is why I said you want to pick up this blade. This prototype vibroblade is upgradable. If you look inside the description, it says special upgradable melee. We only have one thing we can upgrade with: a vibration cell. This does a bonus damage of 1 with slashing. We don't have any kind of alloys we can use, so we're just going to assemble this, and this will be our weapon going forward. Now, if you go into... Right, we actually can't do this just yet. So we have Terra's planetary information. This gives us an idea what's going on here. So Taurus is a sharply divided world. The rich live in the upper city, while the lower city is run by swoop gangs. The lowest levels of Taurus are overrun by terrible monsters called rat ghouls. To make matters worse, the Sith have seized control and impose a planet-wide quarantine. Now, why would you impose a quarantine on the planet? I haven't heard anything about disease going around. But let's go back to the search for Bastila. You are stranded on Taurus. You're stranded on Taurus, a planet under Sith control. Now, you and Karth Anansi must find Bastila, the only person capable of stopping the Sith from conquering the entire galaxy. You should probably begin by investigating reports of escape pods that crashed into the upper city. So yeah. You have anything else? Nope. Okay then. We're pretty much good to go. Let's go ahead and leave this apartment. Every time you leave the apartment, you must select which party members you wish to take. Since it's the first time you're leaving, you will have to take Karth. So, we already have to talk. We cannot select, and this character must be a member of your party at this time. So now all we got is Karth we can work with. And as you can tell, fairly light side affinity. Now Knights Republic should load a little bit faster when compared to other Xbox games. Looking at you, Jade Empire. So I don't have to worry about cutting out too much.
Okay, you alien scum. Everybody get up against the wall. This is a raid.
There was a patrol here just yesterday, and they found nothing. Why do you Sith keep bothering us?
That's how we Sith deal with smart-mouth aliens. Now the rest of you get up against the wall before I lose my temper again. Hey, what's this? Humans hiding out with aliens? They're Republic fugitives. Attack!
Oh dear. So before we do anything, let's go ahead and get the Karth here. Karth has a special weapon. He has his blaster. This one is upgradable, but we couldn't do anything with it inside the apartment because he wasn't in our party at the time. He also has a regular blaster as his off-weapon. We want to switch that to an ion blaster because we are dealing with droids. We also got vibroblades. Now we have 1 to 12 physical damage for the longsword, but vibroblades do 1 to 10. So the longsword does more damage, but if I'm correct here, this one is balanced, so you're able to. So you won't have to worry about dealing with too many penalties if you're dual wielding. So we're going to swap to a regular vibroblade, and we're going to lava frag. Then we're going to have Karth. He's an actual soldier. We're going to have him take care of this. To here, then Then once I get done lobbing this grenade, I'm going to critical strike this guy in flurry.
Yes.
Poor skill. He should never have talked back to that Sith. Thankfully, you were here to step in and help us, human. This isn't the first time the Sith have come in here to cause trouble for us, but hopefully it will be the last. Won't someone come searching for this patrol? Don't worry about the bodies. I will move them so it looks like they were killed elsewhere. That should throw the Sith off the track. With any luck, they won't be bothering us again for a while. So, this introduces you to a couple of things here. The Sith are a bunch of racists! So we got a blaster rifle, a frag grenade, poison grenade, and adrenal strength and adrenal stamina. Also got another level up. This is a Duros. You might recognize him as the species of Cad Bane from the Clone Wars TV series. And I would say I recognize the Duros from this from this game, but wow, did that series put them on the map. We got another level up here. So if we go back, we hit Y, we can auto level up. I don't recommend doing it if you're trying to specifically build your character. So we're going to go ahead and do more skills. We have 4 points here. So we're going to put some into Persuade. I'm going to put 2 into it right now. And then we're going to put some into... we should be okay on security. So we're going to put some into... here. And then we're going to put one into computer, so that will work. Now we have feats here. We're only at level 3, so we can't. So once again, we can't get any extra skill for the moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some points put into this. Reduce the penalty of attack. This one. Gain +1 to attack and +1 to defense due to this combat. So we're going to go with dual weapons here, since I'm going to be using predominantly dual weapons throughout the game. So that's fine. Karth is level 4. You won't be leveling up for a while. So, let's go ahead and look around here, see what we got going on. Pointing at us specifically with the janitor here. He's human.
Hey there, watch where you're walking. I just cleaned those floors.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Well, all right then, no hard feeling. My name's Kadir. I'm the janitor for this building. You must be the new tenant here, right? Never thought they'd rent that abandoned apartment. You look like an off-worlder. What happened? You get stuck here because of the quarantine? Can't see any other reason someone would want to rent that old apartment.
I want to ask you some questions.
Don't know how much I can tell you, but seeing as how you're new here, I guess I can try and help you out.
Tell me about Taurus.
Decent enough place to live, I guess, except for the lower levels. That's where the swoop gangs hang out. Just stay in Upper City and you'll be fine. You also might want to check out the cantina. I used to go there when I was younger. Good place to get a drink and find out what's going on in the Upper City.
Where's the cantina?
Just keep following the apartment complex ring until you come to the elevator. It'll take you out to the upper streets there. And from there, just head south a ways. You can't miss it.
Okay, can I ask you something else?
Don't know how much I can tell you, but seeing as how you're new here, I guess I can try and help you out.
Where can I get some equipment?
Well, the best place to go is probably Kebley Yurt's store. She's right across from the cantina, so you can stop in for a drink if you get thirsty while you're shopping. Just keep following the apartment complex ring until you come to the elevator. It'll take you out to the upper streets there. And from there, just head south a ways. You can't miss it.
Okay, let me ask you something else.
Don't know how much I can tell.
Okay, what do you think of the Sith in this quarantine?
Not much of an issue for me, you know. I ain't never left Taurus, and they ain't never gonna. A lot of other folks are sure riled up about it, but I don't really know much about it. I prefer to keep to myself mostly. But there's plenty of people at the cantina who'll be more than happy to tell you what they think about the Sith and their quarantine.
Okay, well, I'll be going now.
I should get back to work anyway. I'll probably see you around. I'm here most of the time. The building doesn't clean itself, you know.
I like Kadir. He's cool. Although his name doesn't change from janitor and the upper thing. It's just Kadir. Low security door. Let's see if we can't hack into it.
Got it.
And we can. So we can go in here. We can take some stuff. Got a computer spike, credits, and a med pack. Got a Twi'lek. Before the Sith arrived, there was talk of changing Taurus alien restriction laws. But I guess that probably won't happen now. So apparently there's an alien restrictions law on Taurus. I don't know what that's about. Let's see. We got a droid bay and disembodied, I guess this is an R2 helmet? An R2 droid? Did she say anything else? No? I know some Twi'leks who've been given special permission to live in the upper city. They don't have to hide out in a dump like this. So she's not here legally then. I hate this world. They treat us aliens like scum. As soon as the Sith quarantine's over, I'm leaving for good. So apparently it's not just the Sith. Apparently it's not just the Sith. Taurus has a strong anti-alien sentiment too. Before the Sith arrived, there was talk of changing Taurus' alien restriction laws, but I guess that probably won't happen now. A Quarren? Had I known of the Teresian attitudes towards aliens, I would never have come to visit this world. Now I'm stuck here because of the quarantine. They say Taurus is the core of something on the Rim, but this world is nothing but crumbling buildings and urban waste. So to give you an idea, Taurus was once where Coruscant is in the Star Wars canon, but now it's just fallen in disrepair. On my homeworld, I live in a splendid castle, but here on this planet, I'm forced to hide out in this slum. So yeah, that's pretty much it. No low security door. Can we open this up?
Got it.
It's Nethorian. Please don't hurt me. I have nothing of value in here. Look for yourself and see. Well, okay, sure. I'll just take what I can here. Parts, credits, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, so we're hiding out in an apartment full of aliens that, well, feel discriminated against and pretty much aren't even allowed on Taurus, or at the very least, they're only allowed in certain capacities. But I wonder what the full extent is. The Sith searched this building once. Fortunately, they didn't care that we were here illegally and they left us alone. So all these aliens are here illegally in this building. Sorry, human, but I do not wish to engage in conversation with you. Residents of this complex prefer to keep to themselves. Yeah, but I'm nosy. Hey, human, you do not see many of your kind in this building, unless they are hiding out from someone. I guess that's about it. They each have 3 different things to say. Well, I don't see too many of your kind around here. Most of the residents in this rundown apartment are illegal aliens. My name is Lara, by the way. Pleased to meet you, Lara. My name is Anansi Wolf. I know it's really none of my business, but you look like someone who might need to purchase one of those new energy shields. The latest thing, you know, very high-tech. What's so great about these energy shields? When you use one, it surrounds you with a radiant aura particle mesh that absorbs blaster bolts. Pretty handy in a fight. The shield even protects against lightsabers, or so I hear. The shields aren't perfect, of course. They can only absorb so much energy damage before they burn out. And ion blasters will take care of your basic dueling shield. Will take your basic dueling shield down pretty quick.
And I can tell you from experience that they aren't any good at all against a simple vibroblade. That's why the Republic has been training soldiers in hand-to-hand and melee combat.
Where did this technology come from? I've heard rumors of the Achani using shields like this, but I never saw anything like them around here. Not to the Sith camp. Where they discovered the technology is anybody's guess. The shields are too rare and too expensive to hand out to an entire army, but a shielded strike team can take out a whole battalion of soldiers armed with conventional blasters. It gave the Sith a huge edge in the early battles, but it wasn't long before the Republic was able to copy this technology and come up with energy shields of their own. Now both sides are scrambling to come up with new weapons to slice right through the shields. But until they do, you're going to see melee combat come back to the forefront in this war. And this explains why we have swords and blasters, because we have energy shields that absorb blasters but are pathetic against swords. But he also may mention that there's a dueling shield that also defends against swords as well, so you kind of have to balance it out. Anything else? Not much more to say, really, except that I've managed to get my hands on one of these shields. It isn't cheap, but it could mean the difference between life and death. You want to see what I have in stock? I know my kiosk isn't much to look at, but my prices are reasonable, and the merchandise is sound. Why do you have a kiosk set up here? I run a little shop here at this old building, selling basic equipment to illegal aliens renting out these apartments. You mentioned something about illegal aliens living here? By law, most aliens aren't allowed to have a residence in the upper city of Taurus. They allow a few of us Twi'leks up here, but for the most part, it's humans only. But no self-respecting upper city human will want to live in the apartments in this dump, so the landlord has been renting out the apartments illegally to aliens. Better than letting them sit empty, I guess. Otherwise you get squatters and people hiding out from the authorities living in the abandoned apartments, and they don't pay rent. Aren't you worried about getting caught? The Taurus authorities pretty much turned a blind eye. A few illegal aliens just weren't worth the bother, and once the Sith took over, they felt the same way. Besides, I don't live here myself. I just run a small business providing supplies to residents. What's what I have? Well, let me ask you some questions first. Questions I'd rather not. It might be bad for business. People saw me answering a bunch of questions for a human. Most of the residents here are illegal aliens. Questions are frowned on. I don't want to lose the trust of my customers. If you really need information, go talk to Kadir, the janitor. He's bordering on senile, so all the residents figure he's harmless. They won't mind you talking to him, and he might be able to help you out with your questions. Okay, well, let me see what you got for sale. No problem. Just step on up and have a peek. So he has a few items of interest. He has a military suit, which you need medium armor, and 165 credits. He has a heavy combat suit. It's light armor. It's probably called a heavy combat suit, but it's light armor and it's 110, so a little bit cheaper. Here's our combat suit. Now, this is what we have on here. He has an infinite amount of these, and it's only 55. Very cheap. Very, very cheap. The military suit has 6 defense and a +3 max dexterity bonus, but this one has a 5 defense and a +4. So this maxes out at 9, maxes out at 9, maxes out at 9. So basically, if you have a max dexterity, you get a plus. You can pretty much offset it. So there really isn't much need for swapping out unless you don't have a high dexterity. This is your light battle armor. Medium, 7 defense, +2 max dexterity. Vibroblade, a stun baton. So this basically does it's basically has a chance on a regular hit, like what happens with your critical strike. Its regular attack has a chance to stun people, but we also have a skill that lets us do that. We have a quarterstaff, a vibro sword, basically the longsword version of a vibroblade. And the ion blasters, we can buy an ion blaster here. A sonic pistol, a light repeating blaster, poison grenade, sonic grenade, concussion grenade, frag grenade, energy shield, and a sound dampening stealth unit. So to have some minds here. So what you want to do is you want to kind of decide what you want here. Here's the shield he's talking about. You can only use it 5 times, and it absorbs. It has a deflection of 20 points, and it's a 200-second duration or max damage taken. So we're going to go ahead and go through and try to sell a couple of things. We're not going to need the longsword anymore. It's only worth 2 anyway. Going to sell the short swords. We have a couple of blaster pistols here. Those are worth a decent amount of money. So this one will up your dexterity by 4. You can pretty much use these adrenaline boosters to help you out in certain cases to help boost certain skills. We're also going to go ahead and sell these blasters. So let's go ahead and sell these blasters. And then we're probably going to leave it at that for right now. As much as I would not mind buying a couple of this stuff, we want to hold off for right now. Just for right now. We'll have more money later. And that's about it. There's a low security door. And this should be... Nope, this is no low security door. So let's go ahead and just kind of look around. It doesn't help to take a look around and see what you can find.
Got it.
Another human hiding out here. Dia.
Who are you? What are you doing in here? You can't just come barging into someone's home.
I'm sorry, I was just investigating the area.
That's no excuse. You can't just go around barging into people's apartments because you're curious. But at least you're more polite than that pig Holden.
Holden? Who's that?
Just one of Darvik's men who can't keep his hands to himself. But all he got for his trouble was a nasty scar from my vibroblade. Too bad I'm the one still paying the price.
What do you mean?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm in enough trouble already. Besides, I don't know if I can trust you.
And here's where you can use your persuasion skill or be very forceful. You can trust me. Maybe I can help.
Well, I suppose you seem like an all-right sort. When I cut Holden, it made him back off, but it also embarrassed him in front of his friends. Holden's a spiteful little hut slug. He went and put out a bounty on my head for what I did. That's why I'm hiding out here.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I doubt it. Holden is one of Darvik's men. When you work for the local crime lord, the authorities tend to turn a blind eye. I'm afraid this is between me and Holden now.
Maybe I can speak to Holden for you.
You could try, I guess. He usually hangs out at the cantina in the lower city. It probably won't do any good. Holden's used to getting his own way. That's one of the fringe benefits of being a goon for Darvik. Working for the local crime lord lets you get away with things. Still, I appreciate the offer.
Can I ask you some questions?
I can't help you there. Since this thing with Holden, I've been scared to leave my apartment. I don't know anything about what's going on in the outside world anymore.
Okay, well, I'll be going now.
Goodbye and good luck. I hope you can talk some sense into Holden.
I believe you need a persuasion of of 4 in order to get her to talk to you, or otherwise you have to threaten her. Low security door. Anything in here?
No problem. Got it.
Another Twi'lek. Hello? Don't hurt me. Just take what you want. I won't try to stop you. Might work for me. Just use what you got and leave. And I think with that, we're going to call it a part here. I've been Anansi, you've been awesome. And I'll catch you later.